Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, welcome back to the show. Today we have another fantastic guest for you guys. We're going to get right into it. None other than a guy I respect very much, FightersRep veteran John the Caveman Garcia. John, how are you, brother?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I'm so excited to have you on, John. It's been such a long time, man. What's been going on with you?
Well, man, the world went bye-bye after, Fighters Rep 9, so all we've been doing is just training. There's nothing left to do but to train.
For sure, man, for sure. And we got, speaking of Fighters Rep 9, we got it off just in time, John. I mean, you couldn't have gotten closer to a fight right before COVID.
Yes, sir. It was like down to the wire on it.
Big time, man, and a great performance. So before I continue, for all of you that don't know who John Garcia is, professional fighter, fantastic amateur pedigree. He fought for us at Fighters Rep 9. It was only his second fight in the pro game. John, you were kind of forced to start taking pro fights, right? Because there was just like nobody left in the amateurs. You kind of had too much experience. Nobody really wanted to fight you. Am I right?
Yeah, it was just hard. Like, we were always trying to get on like all the different circuits, and a lot of promoters will always tell us like it's hard to get John to fight. He has too many fights.
Yeah.
So I got to a point where, I was getting scars too, so I might as well just start getting paid to get more scars.
For sure, for sure. Well, I want you to kind of introduce yourself to the knuckleheads that don't know who you are. Just in a nutshell, kind of let them know who John Garcia, John the Caveman Garcia is.
All right. So, how's it going, everybody? For those of you that don't know me, my name is John Garcia. I train out of Team Victory, which was in Inglewood. Now we're in Studio City, but we still bring the same Inglewood vibes hitting it there. And I just love to fight. That's me in a nutshell. I love to fight. Ever since I was a kid, that's all I ever wanted to do.
I love it, brother. You mentioned Team Victory, John. How long have you been with Crew Rod and Team Victory? There's definitely some history and tradition there, brother.
Yes, sir. I've been with Team Victory since I was about 13, going on 14.
Wow, man.
So, about close to 14 years. It's about to be 15 years this coming birthday.
Wow,
So,
wow. And Crew Rod,
yeah, I've been there.
your coach, Crew Rod, he's kind of hard to pin down. I've always wanted to try to chat with him. He's a busy guy. But, he kind of started it as like an outreach for the community. Am I right?
Yes, sir. That's how Team Victory started. It's named after the church, Victory Outreach. Trying to get everybody under God, trying to promote the art of Muay Thai and also promote the humility of the Lord. And that's how it all started.
Got you. Well, John, this whole thing is coming to an end. This whole COVID pandemic, finally, there's some light at the end of the tunnel. I wanted to ask you, how have you spent this time? Have you been hitting the gym? Have you been working on your craft? What's been going on with you throughout this entire thing?
And to be honest, I don't think I ever left camp. Like, ever since pandemic hit, just been training every day as much as I can, working out as much as I can, just trying to stay ready. Like, we tried a lot of different promotions. We tried going like abroad, try hitting up promotions out of state because I just want to fight.
Yeah, yeah.
So, now that we know the light at the end of the tunnel, I'm just excited for it. I just want to, showcase what I've been working on, showcase what my team's been instilling in me, what we are about. We just want to bring the smoke.
And you definitely bring the smoke. You brought it at the last Fighters Rep, John, man. And I'm so excited not only to have you back because of your fighting style, man, because of how amazing that last performance was, but I'm excited even
Thank you.
more. I'm excited even more because you're going to be fighting a guy in Mikey Shaw. And I think this is a fantastic fight, man, for us coming back from a pandemic. I feel like a lot of people want to see this fight in the community. It's getting a lot of hype. What are your thoughts on this fight and on Mikey Shaw? I'm really interested to know what you think about this fight.
Man, this fight is like, it couldn't be any more perfect, to be honest. Like, I feel like We both bring something to the table. We both bring an exciting, explosive move. We're fighters from the AMI ranks, pro ranks, and just seeing, leaving it all in the ring, seeing who's the better person. But it's all loving games in there. Once we're in there, it's business. Once we're outside, we're homies and stuff. So I'm just looking forward to this fight. Just because there's finally an okay and a clearing that we can actually fight. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Mikey's a good guy. Mikey's solid. I know him also from the amateur ranks. I fought up in Sacramento a couple of weeks back, and we know his old team. We know when he ventured out, and props that he opened up his own gym. It's hard for a lot of people to come out and open up their own gym and stay open. A lot of gyms have been closing out lately, so props to him for grinding it out and just keeping a solid team, keeping himself in shape. We'll just see who the best man is, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm just really excited for it.
You both, but before I continue on to the next question, you kind of cut out at the beginning there. You said you both bring an exciting, explosive style. Is that what you were saying?
Yes, sir. That's exactly what I was saying.
Okay. I couldn't agree more. And when I think of both of you guys, John, and tell me your thoughts on this. I think of two very decorated amateurs that have just recently gone pro, and I think of two amateurs that recently went pro in a community that's got some of the best strikers in the world right here in California, man. Kind of give me your thoughts on that, because I feel like both you have an incredibly deep amateur pedigree.
Yeah, no, you basically hit the nail with the hammer. We both have a extensive amount of amateur fights. We come from Cali. There's nothing but bangers in here. So, if you're not in there in the long run, you're just going to get taken out. And I feel that Mikey Shaw and I, we're just going to, I don't really look for a finish in these fights. I just look for a fight. So if we bring it all 3 rounds are going to be nonstop. So we're just going to see who the better person is. It's going to be a chess game, but it's going to be an explosive chess game. Yeah. We're going to see who counters better, who kicks better, who hits better, who hits harder. It's going to come down to who wants it more. And, I'm excited for that.
John, I think both you guys are really technical, man. But in your last fight, you showed me something, man. You showed me the seek and destroy mean streak that lies within John the Caveman Garcia. You showed us the Caveman in that last fight. Talk to me about that and how you match up stylistically against Mikey Shaw.
Yeah, last fight, I just had something to prove to myself and my team. I had to bring out a different type of person. And so even from like the first bell, all I could see was just seek and destroy, just hit, just keep going, finding tactics. I feel we style up very well, even though height-wise, he does have a bit of a reach over me. That's going to play a role depending on how close I want to fight or how distance-wise. If I want to play safe, if I want to stay in there and duke it out with him, which, most likely that's what's going to be. I'm going to have to close the range a lot. But, we're just going to have to wait and see what FightersRep 10. Once it comes out, we're going to have to just wait and see my style.
John, very excited, man. Very excited about this fight, man. Every time I put anything about this fight, John, on Instagram, I just get, I told Mikey this in the interview a couple of days ago. I just get flooded with activity, man. What has the community kind of told you about this matchup, about this fight? What are you hearing from the fans?
They're just saying it's going to be a solid fight. Two different hoods per se. Inglewood, Stockton. It's just a banger. It just has the words banger written all over it. It's going to be a very solid fight. I'm just excited just to even get in there. So I think that's basically what the community wants. It's like the world's coming back to life and we get like a nonstop banger. And on top of that, we also get Chris Cully. So, that speaks banger overall for this promotion and for FightersRep 10.
Yeah.
Right. We're having nonstop hitters in this one.
Oh man, John. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna be on there against Mikey Shaw. just to let everybody know. By the way, the fight's going down on August 13th. You can get your tickets at FightersRep.com. They'll be for sale soon. You can also access the live stream on FightersRep.com or right here on our YouTube channel. You just have to join the channel. It's $4.99 a month. You get to watch it. You can cancel anytime, but definitely check it out if you can't make it to the fight. John, they should make it because, listen, we've got you and Mikey Shaw. We got Chris Cully and Justin Baseman going at it. Two guys with, at least 50 fights each. We've got Terry and Ware, UFC vet, and Brandon LaRocco, Bellator vet, have verbally agreed to fight each other on there. Now it's looking like we got one of your teammates or a guy who at least cross-trains with you in Eddie Jackson that's going to be making also an appearance on the pro card. I hope it goes through against a very tough prospect coming down from Johnson on the Wooden Man's Gym. We got Anderson Silva's son, perhaps both of his sons, fighting on the undercard as well. So this is going to be a juicy one, John. This is going to be a banger, brother.
I'm excited for it, man. I just can't wait to get in there.
John, so I gotta ask you, man. We haven't, you haven't been in the ring since February, which was Fighters Rep 9, February of 2020. Do you feel like the layoff has slowed you down a bit? Do you think it's gonna affect your performance at all, like not having been in the ring for that long?
I don't think so per se. I think the layoff, it just forced my body to, recover because, me, as soon as Fighters Rep was over, I was lined up to fight again. And, had the world not shut down, I would have just kept fighting like every other month. So I'm used to just nonstop, just keep going. Because, I'm an adrenaline junkie when it comes to the whole thing. I just love getting punched. I love punching people. So I don't think it's going to partake anything. If anything, it might just show maybe a bit of slowing down, but I can play with the pace now. So it probably just taught me to work on my pace a bit better, find the tempo and find the range, and then pick my shots. And then we'll see how bad it slowed me down depending on my onslaught of combos, So we don't know how this plays out. It could benefit me, it could not, or it can be right down the middle, be like what do you call it? A gambit, right? A catch 22. It could be one of those.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
One thing Mikey brought up, we had him on this channel not too long ago, is the fact that you set a hell of a pace, man. You set a hell of a pace. I think that's something that gets people really excited about watching you fight, man. If you could kind of tell me, has that always been your style? Is that something that you just decided to do in the last fight? Your pace is just ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I dug deep to find that pace. It took me a while. It's just like a building block. Some of my fights, I had a decent pace. Some of my fights were slower pace, and I was always just very, very technical.
Yeah.
So I think after my first pro fight, when I took the loss, it lit up a fire inside me, and it's like, all right, so I can't play it like this anymore. If I'm going in there, I'm going in and I'm just leaving it out there. So if I got to start a pace, I got to keep that pace up the whole round. So I got to make sure I have enough conditioning and I'm well prepared for all this. When I'm sure my crew rod, he's going to have me juiced up and ready to go for it like a bull. So
For sure. He definitely gets you hyped, man. I've seen him in the corner. I saw him yelling at you in the corner. What was he telling you in that last fight in the corner? Because he was amped beyond belief, man.
The usual stuff. He's like, I'm proud of you. You're killing it. You're doing great. Just keep it up. For Crew Rod night, the way the chemistry works, if he's just cracking jokes with me and just yelling and amped up, I'm doing well. It's the silent part where it's like, you got to win this round, you're losing and stuff. That's where that I got to edge some stuff out. But if he's amped up and he's losing his voice, it's music to my ears. I know I'm doing amazing.
Hey, I love that, man. I love that. I'll be honest with you. For me, half of the excitement was watching Crew Rod's reactions in the corner of your fight, man. That was a lot of fun. You mentioned earlier.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned earlier, you're
Hmm.
represented for Inglewood. Mikey
Yes,
Shaw
sir.
is represented for Stockton. He's coming down, and I discussed this with him as well. He's coming down into hostile territory. And John, I say hostile territory, brother, because at that last fight, John, are you there?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
listening.
okay, your picture
Mhm.
froze for a second.
Yeah.
So I was saying, he's coming into hostile territory, man, because at the last fight, man, it was a madhouse in there. I mean, it sounded absolutely crazy in there.
Yes, sir.
And you had a lot of fans in there just going absolutely nuts. I mean, what can we expect at Fighters Rep 10, and how does it feel to fight in front of a crowd like that?
Oh man, you know me. Even if there is no crowd, I'm still just gonna go in there and bang. You know, I don't see him as a underdog going into uncharted territories or into enemy
Yeah,
territories. You know, he has respect from a lot of gyms over here. He has my respect. He has my team's respect. So, it's just two of us gonna bang it out. So, I mean, I feel like the fans are winning off of this. I don't partake in winning for the fans or anything. The fans can cheer whoever they want. They can cheer on me. They can cheer Mikey Shaw. But I feel like they're getting treated to just us banging it out.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they're winning.
No, I couldn't agree more, man. And Inglewood, what does it mean for you, John, to be represented for Inglewood, to be also representing for Team Victory Muay Thai? Not just in general, but in this fight coming up against a guy, coming from up north, coming to challenge you and try to see who the best man is.
I come from the city of champions. So I just have to keep that championship mindset. I was born and raised here. Went to all the schools here. It's just I think it feels different when you have a banner like that, and I know he feels the same way with Stockton being his banner. So we're just gonna go see what city is better.
For,
You know.
for sure, for sure. John, is there any
Yes,
is
sir.
there anything about this matchup or anything about this fight that especially intrigues you or maybe gets you a little bit more fired up than you usually would?
Just his extended amateur background and just the name itself, Too Raw. Like who wouldn't want to fight someone with a badass nickname like that?
For sure. And what do you know? What do you know about Mikey Shaw? I mean, you mentioned he has respect from a lot of people down here. We talked about his extensive amateur background. I mean, what do you kind of know about Mikey Shaw as a fighter? Did you ever cross paths with him in the past?
Never actually crossed paths like in competitions or anything, but I've bumped into like his old teams, so I know what teams he came out of. I believe he was part of Team Valor at one
Yeah.
point. And I've seen a couple fights. When I fought in Sacramento, I fought for Muay Thai Global and Muay Thai Ultimate when they had that whole like combination of a promotion. So I know he's fought for them too. He's fought for the Bay Area, and I've seen a couple of clips, and I was like, oh, this guy's solid. So just even when I saw that his team got added on to Fighters Rep 9, I was still keeping the eye on him because we're in the same weight class. So eventually down the line, we're gonna end up fighting one day or
Right,
another.
right,
So
right.
I was just hoping, you know,
So you felt like at some point this fight was going to happen.
yes, sir. I felt like some point we're just gonna meet.
I love it, man. I love it. And for those that don't know, Mikey Shaw, he did win an IKF title. He did have an extensive amateur experience, as did John Garcia. That's part of the reason we made this fight. That's part of the reason we're really excited about this fight. And John, I just think the whole Inglewood versus Stockton, NorCal versus SoCal thing just adds a little bit of spice, or like Crew Rod would say, a little bit of tapatio on there. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it adds a little bit of flavor. It mixes up two different places. Come from the same background, but we're just trying to see who the better person is going to be at Fighters Rep 9.
For sure, for sure. Well, guys, really excited to have you back on the card. I'm really excited to have your team back on the card. John, is there anyone that you want to shout out? Is there anyone that you want to recognize, sponsors, teammates, anyone before I let you go here, brother?
Yeah, I got a list. No, I'm just playing. So I want to, I want to always give praise to God. Without Him, we wouldn't be doing any of this. Team Victory, Crew Rod for always instilling the humility and the ruthlessness in me. My strength coach, Shredder, I know he's there. My other strength coach, Sal, he's also probably watching this. Six Side for allowing me to get some sparring rounds in every now and then.
Oscar Mueller.
Get him on my teammates.
Shout out Oscar Mueller.
Yeah. Nah, I'll shout him out when I see him in the ring eventually. Now I'm playing with you.
That's another guy, by the way, we want to get into the ring, in the pro ranks. I've been trying to get him in as a pro. I think it's time for him, but we'll see. Maybe he'll be on FightersRep 10 as a pro. You never know. But
hopefully, fingers crossed.
For sure. But ladies and gentlemen, John Garcia. John, where can they let them know where they can follow you on social media?
You can find my IG. It's John G25.
Guys, definitely give John.
I keep it very simple.
For sure. Guys, definitely give John a follow, man. He's a fantastic fighter. Listen, neither him nor Mikey Shaw, there was absolutely zero hesitation from both sides in accepting this fight, which is absolutely a 50-50 fight. These guys come to fight. These guys come for war. And I believe these are what a real fighter should be like and should act like. And two guys who really conduct themselves with a lot of professionalism and class. John, I really look forward to seeing you very soon, brother.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Sure, and I want to tell everybody, again, tickets will be on sale soon at FightersRep.com. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Hit the join button. For just $4.99 a month, you'll be able to catch the live streams that we're going to be doing. We're going to be putting on events soon as this stinking pandemic is over, John, every couple of months. So we hope you guys join us. And, really appreciate you guys joining us tonight. John, thank you again for your time, brother. I really appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, man. Thank you for having me.
Have a good night, everyone.